week we have quite an interesting one. Well, it's personal and it's dear to me. And so, simply put, in the world, of groupings, race, I'm talking about like black people, white people, Latinos, gender, feminism, and whatnot. What does it mean to be a man, a black man specifically? Uh, People say that the today's black man has a victim mentality. What is y'all's take on us as black men and us having a victim mentality, and what does it mean to be a man?
Ooh, tough one. I can say why most black men say that they're the victim in certain situations is because, of course, the white or other race are more privileged, or they assume that they're more privileged.
Is it that we assume, or is it that they are? Because we want to call a spade a spade.
They are. When I was going to this engineering industry, I honestly found it hard. When I went on like the websites and stuff, I scrolled, looked through the partners list. I didn't see no one that looked like me.
Yeah.
Like even at my current job, looked through the partners list, senior associates, no black person at all. So I feel like sometimes dang, I feel like I have to fight harder just to get here. Granted, I could be doing more to get there, and I shouldn't have. I want us all to be equal. I want us to work at an equal pace. Like I do the same work you do, but yet you get a promotion before me. Why? Why is that?
What is being masculine? What is being a black man in America today? What is it? What are the characteristics of a man?
Yeah.
A black man.
But to me, I'm pretty sure most people will be saying that a man has to be a provider. A man has to be able to take care of his family. But for me, it start off by being a leader. You have to be a leader of your household. Of your community, of your country, and of your people. And one thing that I found a lot about the black man's community, and I might be wrong, but this is my opinion about it. I feel like sometimes we as black men complain too much about, we can't do this, we can't do that, we can't do that. But if you get caught up in everything that's going on in this world, you're not gonna be able to accomplish a lot. What I try to do is, I'm like, we're all equal. Yes, maybe society might not see it, but at the same time, if you're determined, man has to be determined, has to be a leader, has to have faith. And I'm not going to, personally, I'm not going to sit here and waste time complaining, waste time, feeling sorry for myself, and waste time listening to, what others think about me. As a black man or as a man in general, I have to, be confident, in myself, believe in Christ, and, just, believe in yourself and believe that you can do what anyone can do out there. If it was impossible, there wouldn't be no Obama. There wouldn't be Martin Luther King. There wouldn't be Nelson Mandela. So being a man is being responsible for a lot of things. Especially in a world where your skin color matters. You have to be able to stand up for yourself. You got to be able to be strong, not just physically, but mentally as well. It's all in the air, But I don't let the past, affect my life today. I know we went through a lot. I know it was tough, but guess what? We can change today. We can change the outcome of tomorrow. We can't change what happened years ago.
We cannot forget about history. That is one thing we cannot do. I mean, to move forward, you have to know what went on in the past. You have to learn from it. But the mistake we are doing is wallowing in it. That is what we cannot do. There's still racism, but I don't think it's not systemic. Okay, there's still racism at some levels, but to
think
get,
it's not systemic?
I don't think to say it's systemic is to say it's majority. Is to think it's It's right in front of you all the time.
For me personally, just masculinity. I think amongst us as black men, right? Because that's what I care about. I think, as I mentioned, we have to work twice as hard. We have to be twice as good. And for me, it's not victim mentality. Of course, there is victim mentality amongst a lot of us. I think what we need to do as black men is we need to be more responsible. I don't see a lot of responsibility. Living here in Atlanta, every young black man I meet is either a rapper, works in a warehouse, which I used to do at some point in my life, or they're just doing one thing or the other. They're in school just getting hoes, talking about what, getting bitches, making money. And when I say making money, you're talking about making $7.25 an hour, right? No, that type of bullshit. Okay, so coming from Africa, I see all these skyscrapers and I'm motivated by it. I get it that if you live here in America, it doesn't motivate you because this is all you see. But as black men, we owe it to our ancestors. We owe it to the Martin Luther Kings, to the Nelson Mandelas, to the Kunta Kintes, if there ever was one, to do better for what they've done. So we need to be a lot more stronger. And so that's why I think masculinity starts from responsibility. After that, I agree with everything you guys just said. Leadership. You've got to be a leader. You've got to be able to command and demand respect. Not with words, but with your actions, right? And when we talk about victim mentality, I think that goes hand in hand with what I just said. A lot of the reasons why men are not men is because they consider themselves victims. A black man will give you every excuse in the book as to why they're not doing what they should be doing. Blame it on slavery, blame it on that, blame it on that. And the normal thing I hear every time is, oh, you're African. You don't understand. I do. Because I was colonized. And nothing hurts more than to be in your own fucking country and be a second-class citizen in your own country. I just came back from Africa about a month and a half ago. And the white man still gets treated better in Ghana than I get treated in my own fucking country. Ain't that a shame, right? So I understand exactly what the black man here is going through. Probably not all of it, but enough to understand where they're coming from. And so I think that's the biggest problem with masculinity, is the victim mentality. I think we're victims. I think we play victim way too damn much. And you mentioned something about systemic racism not being there anymore, and I want to readdress that. I think you could not be further from the truth. There is serious, under the cover, systemic racism. And I'll give you examples. Meek Mill just got incarcerated a few months back over some dumb shit. Had to spend, was supposed to spend what, a year or two in jail.
What did he do?
He broke parole.
Mm-hmm.
He broke parole over some dumb shit. It was like we were shooting a music video where it's like some dumb shit like that. And had it not been for the owner of, how you call it, one of those,
Robert Kraft?
yeah, Robert Kraft and Jay-Z spending a total of about $6 million. Like, it's so bad that Robert Kraft said he never acknowledged systemic racism until he experienced Meek Mill's case. That's when he came to understand the plight of black men here in America. You cannot tell me our jails are filled with black people and you tell me there's no systemic racism. All corporations, I'm coming, innocent.
They're innocent.
Most of them innocent. Or they are paying more than the crime that they did. They're paying for more than the crime they committed.
Only because they didn't have a good lawyer. They didn't have the money to get a good
To pay for a good lawyer and whatnot. And some of them, even if you have the money, it does, like Meek Mill has the money. He paid for good lawyers.
Well,
And he still got fucked over by the DA. Like, it makes no freaking sense. Look, as a black man in America, right, I am always scared. Always scared. Especially being a young, ambitious one with a lot of people depending on me. I'm always scared. Because the wrongest move, and it could be the end of me. Like, police are shooting us every day like we're chickens. With an S. You know, and no one does nothing about it. And you tell me there's no systemic racism? Look at all the companies on earth. This is what I say all the time, right? This is what I see all the time. And I ask anybody who can explain to me that there's no systemic racism. Explain this. If you take all the richest people on earth, okay, from Bezos all the way down to the fake Donald Trump who says he's worth about $1 billion, but I don't think he is. From 150 billion, 120 something billion, all the way down to 1 billion. How many black people are on there? About 2, 3, 4. I'm talking black Americans are on there. About 2, 3, 4. How many other black people are on there? A lot more. From Africa. Especially. What are the net worths of the people from Africa? Now I'm talking about these guys are having to not only compete as people living in a poor country, they're having to compete with people that they have to compete against the dollar. Because if I live in Ghana, the cedi is 4 times less the dollar. So I have to get 4 Ghanaian dollars just to get 1 American dollar. So that tells how much more money I gotta make for us if we're comparing apples and oranges to be valued in the American system. And these guys are worth 15, 20 billion dollars. And no American black man has been there. No American black woman has been there. Dangote, the richest black man on earth, was worth $27 billion at some point, up until the naira, the value of the naira fell. That is insane. That tells me as a black man that this country right here was not made for us. There are systems in place to ensure that you and I will not succeed. Period. And if you tell me that systemic racism does not exist, I truly have a problem with that. I truly wouldn't. I cannot agree with you. There's no world where I can agree with you. So maybe help me understand.
I don't want to go into the politics now.
Yeah.
We can do that because we do that all the time. We can do that. I can easily rebut that, but again, I don't want to go into the politics.
I get that. Yeah. Maybe we'll leave that for another show. So in conclusion, I think masculinity is a topic that we all agree that things like leadership, things like responsibility, they play a key part. There is some disagreement around the finer details, like what makes someone a victim, or whether we have victim mentalities or we don't. But ultimately, I think we would all agree that us as black men have a lot more responsibility on us to do a lot more, just to get, our names on the wall, just to get a little bit further in life.
Yeah.
Viewers, thank you very much for watching this episode. Again, like I always say, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, unlike, dislike, whatever it is. Just do not finish watching this video without letting us know how you feel about it. See you next week. Deuces.